What's going on, guys? Gilly Del Trez here, creator of Under the Flesh Lair, Pistoleta, Galactic, Rodents of Mayhem, and the Deep Dark. What's going on with Terminator Dark Fate? I got Ron Christian here, and we're going to look deep inside the truth behind Terminator Dark Fate. Ron, say
yeah. Well, the numbers don't add up. The audience score and the box office numbers do not match, and I'm wondering how that happened. Somewhere, somebody fudged the numbers. I don't know who.
Something's not adding up. We're gonna kind of like just take a peek at it because it's no secret that Terminator Dark Fate flopped horribly. If you haven't seen the movie, kudos to you.
I haven't seen it. I have no interest in watching it. I do know it's kind of a disaster. It's pretty much a dumpster fire. Like, you know.
I unfortunately have watched the film, and I did it because I need content for the channel. And as a good critic, you have to critique things, and you have to. As a fan, I'm a Terminator fan, but again, for me, the movie stopped after part 2. But I had to watch this. I had to say that, okay, how bad could this get? And quite frankly, it gets really bad. I'm going to be dropping spoilers in here because, again, guys, we're going into why is this not rotten on Rotten Tomatoes? I'm just curious about that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share the screen right here, and we're going to look at. Let me see. Here we go. Wait, this is what I thought of the movie, and this is the first time that I ever put anything up on Rotten Tomatoes. I actually signed in, actually created an account because you know what? This was my last straw. I'm like, okay, something is not adding up. So real quick, I'm just going to just put enter on this, but I'll just share what I've written. What do you think of the movie?
You give it no stars at all? It didn't let you?
What happened?
You can't give it no stars?
No,
at all?
Can't. I have to give it a half a star. So that was rotten. It passed the time. No, it was rotten. You killed John Connor off in the first minute of the movie. Okay.
Well, the thing is, though, a move like that tells basically it's like, oh, you like Terminator 1 and Terminator 2? Well, in the first 5 minutes, we're just gonna throw crap in your face. Like literally, they take a pile of crap and they fling it at your face. That's what happened. That's what it was.
Yeah, if you had any respect for the films, you'd know that you could make a great Terminator movie without killing off John Connor. But I mean, if you do kill him off in a way that I can feel it and I can make sense, and I'm buying
another
lore.
Another YouTuber had mentioned how it would have been okay if they had killed him off maybe later on in the movie, where he kind of passes the torch to this other character, and his death is kind of a heroic, sacrificial one.
Of course, you're gonna make him a martyr. But there's layers to this. You just shoot him off, and it's just like you have this big poker chip, and you just throw it away. It's just like it didn't mean anything. We saw part 1, part 2, everything was around him, and it's what's this need to keep everything surrounded around him? I mean, there's a lot of things going on in the Terminator timeline universe. You could do so much. You could get so creative, and killing him off was like your big like, all right, like that's not even creative. And to top it off, the next John Connor is this Mexican chick out of nowhere. Like, really? It's so piss poor that again, this is what I said. Utter trash, an abomination to the Terminator legacy. I still wish I could get my $5 back, but someone needs to watch the atrocious and woke excuse for storytelling that Hollywood is forcing down our throats.
Wow, that's telling. I mean, I might get an account on Rotten Tomatoes and just to tear stuff apart.
The expensive, iconic franchises.
Yeah.
Again, so this is my thing next. I'm just throwing it out there. How did you get your ticket? I bought somewhere else. I go to a place where I could pay $5 and watch a movie. and that's just how it is, and I love it. It's a small, low-key spot, and I go there after work, and I watch the movies, and that's how I did it. So again, I submit it. I'm glad that I was able to get a half a rating in here, but let's look at the real reason why I pulled this up right here. Because if we look at Terminator Dark Fate, right? First of all, if we look at the box office, the second week it pulled in $10 million. That's horrible for a movie that has over a $400 million budget.
But look at that, 71% fresh. Like that. See, that doesn't make sense.
Again, I'm not even going to take the time to look into who's. I'm not, because if you saw the movie and you know it's trash, you understand there's something fishy going on here. But again, even that you got 71%, right? Let's look at the audience score. The audience score is 83%. Now, for me, that's very, very alarming. But when I put it into perspective, we don't have our hardcore Terminator audience factoring in here. We just don't, because they didn't watch the movie because they knew it was going to be a shit show.
Yeah.
So we're dealing with either very casual people or we're dealing with people that know about the agenda, the controversy surrounding the wokeness behind this movie.
I do have a question for you.
Our rating, like, it was great.
Yeah.
What?
Which one was worse, Dark Fate or Genesis?
Okay, again, I'm going to say this right now. Because Genesis, it tried something. It tried to go to like, hey, we're going back to the original Terminator, but we're just creating another timeline, like just another what if scenario. And this timeline surrounds Sarah Connor, and if she had a Terminator with her, whatever. Dude, it's so bad that Terminator 1 in itself, the original 1984 film, is a work of science fiction perfection.
Yes, it is.
It's a work of perfection.
Yes.
Kyle Reese came to protect Sarah Connor. He didn't expect to fall in love with her. He didn't expect to plant the seed that would be John Connor. That's why it's such an amazing movie. It's a freaking love story, for Christ's sake. You get what I'm saying?
Incredible. It's
not
great.
It's not this broy action movie like Tim Miller suggesting. It's a freaking love story. It's science fiction. It's just, it's to its core, it's a work of art, right? By James Cameron. It's just a work of art.
And then you got the second one, and that's just, that's awesome.
And it's a sequel that sometimes you don't think a sequel can supersede the original. For me, I hold the original as a 10, and T2 Judgment Day, I give it a 9.5. I mean, I could give it a 10 even that. I mean, I could. But I don't. I just, part one for me is so special for that reason. So when you say Terminator Genesis and what they're trying to do, and even the opening scene is like a cut by cut mirror imaging
original.
You maybe your intentions were great, but it didn't work. Sarah Connor is Linda Hamilton, and then you bring the chick from Game of Thrones, Khaleesi. I told you about that ringtone.
Yeah,
I told you.
You did.
I'm getting a phone call right here. I gotta take this. Hold on.
Okay.
Eva, I love you. Hold on. I'm doing a live stream. I'll call you right back, okay? I love you. I'll call you back. I told you guys that's my default ringtone. You didn't believe me. I had to get a phone call for y'all to believe me, right? In the middle of the stream. Oh, my God. So, yeah.
No, I'm not as big a Terminator fan as you are, but I do love the first two movies. I think they're brilliant. I think they're some of the best.
Fan. That's it. Because again, for me, Part 3, Terminator Salvation, it was admirable. It doesn't register. Genesis doesn't register. Dark Fate doesn't register. They're all what if scenarios. They're bad.
What I found really cool about the concept of Salvation, about just being set in that dark Terminator future, that's a cool idea. That's a really cool idea, but they just didn't do it right. It
was just lacking. It was a great idea. It's just the execution was poor. It wasn't good. And I love was it Christian Bale? I love him. Again, so we're looking at this 83%. Again, not many people that are true Terminator fans are weighing in here. They didn't watch the movie because of good reason. The ones who watched it, who watch content for their channel, who are putting it out, the bad reviews. They're not matching up. Showing
it says there it's about 9,397 reviews. That's so the verified ratings. I mean, so that many people thought it was 83%. Really?
Exactly. So that's if we go to see how many people actually watched it, right, and actually took their time to come to Rotten Tomatoes and leave a bad review, not many. I'm sure the few that did it are like me that have a channel and just went on and it probably did it. Like this is the first time I ever, you guys seen, first time I ever commented anything on Rotten Tomatoes, but I had to put my half a star.
Yeah, but if a lot of people did what you do for a channel or for the review and they gave it a bad review, then that shouldn't make a difference. It should still be rotten because they're giving it bad reviews.
But again, if we're looking at 9,000 people, right? And that's out of the fraction of, if we look at how many people saw the movie, I'm sure it's over a couple million that probably saw the movie. Even if it's bad, it didn't make the money. Maybe, you get what I'm saying? Even then, if you take the fraction of people who watch it for the content of their channel, we're not going to make a dent. Now, when you get everybody watching it in, like if you look at Joker brought in 1 billion, you know what I'm saying? So, and the reviews were bad, but the people went to see the movie and they talked about it. Terminator Dark Fate, people don't even want to talk about it. It's like an abomination. No one even wants to think about it as a part of Terminator legacy.
Yeah, no, nobody. I mean, I'm glad it flopped because I'm
happy it flopped. This is a great thing.
I'm happy that it's making no money at the box office because this is a clear message to Hollywood that we don't want this garbage. We don't want this social agenda, crap in our movies. That's not why we go see movies.
And even the social agenda aside, right? Like if you just take the wokery out of this, you freaking have a crap movie either way. You killed John Connor in the beginning. Everything that Terminator 2 stood for.
Well, the thing is though that the wokeness is directly affects the story and the plot because the reason they killed John Connor is because of the wokeness.
I get it. I get that. But I'm also saying what also sucks if you take the wokeness away. In one sense, you have Arnold. He makes an appearance in this movie, right? He's the same one that killed John Connor in the beginning.
Yes, I've seen that.
Grew a conscious, married, settled down with a Mexican woman, and raised her one child.
Well, how does that work? So
this is some wokery sprinkle there. I get it. He grew a conscience. The Terminator grew a conscience. Whatever. He didn't go back into the portal. He just, it was a one-way in. You came in, you killed John Connor in the most simplistic fashion ever. Okay. And then
where did he get his conscience? Who taught it to him?
He evolved over time to develop.
Okay, so because in Terminator 2, he got his conscience from John Connor. John Connor taught him how to be a good,
I get it. The only way we'll know how he gets a conscience if we sadly have another Terminator movie that we know we won't have, and we'll explain how he got his conscience, who showed him his conscience, maybe the woman that he saw, whatever. It just doesn't add up because you see in part 2, John Connor shows them about humanity, emotion, right?
Killing, all that stuff.
Exactly. And then even then, the Terminator still is a machine. He said, you know what? I'm feeling these things, but I got to kill myself in case something happens and my protocol changes and I'm just going to off you. I have to kill myself so I know you're safe.
When you detail things like that, the movie becomes even worse. When you really think about it, it becomes worse.
Exactly. Because then it's just saying, hey, he didn't need to kill himself. He could have stayed alive as a father figure to John Connor and protect him if any more other Terminators came in.
Yeah.
So it
destroys completely the first two movies.
This is Hollywood here, people. This is a storytelling, okay? And I know it's not all of Hollywood, right? But it's when you want to make $1 and you just go into that piggy bank and you just trying to see if there's any money left. You know what I'm saying? You're bleeding the people who like Terminator dry and are not giving any money. Mm-hmm. So not only did they not make money the drop off is so horrible. We're actually going to look at how they're doing internationally. Oh. I'm going to share this real quick. We have an international Sketch Therapy says they don't count any score that's half a star. They consider it trolling. Well, more reason then. So guess what? So that even more reason why it's skewed, right? So maybe it would have been less than 83%, But again, I should have put 1 star. Now I know, and thank you for that. Now I know what I just got to give a 1 star a review next instead of the half a star.
Well, that's their whole thing. Any negative review, they automatically like say it's trolling or review bombing or whatever.
Thank you for that. Now I know to give it 1 star or 1.5 star. What it just goes to show you again, not even the audience score could even be trusted. Because if we're looking at the production and we're looking at the movie intake, look at overseas. Overseas, we got Hong Kong, billions of people in that country, and they
Chinese people watch anything.
And it's Hong Kong cinema. Okay, they make some great movies. Okay, so then they'll watch, American movies, right? You got UK, right? You have a lot of Terminator influence there. People love Terminator from Terminator 1, Terminator 2. But guess what? Overseas, you're only getting $29 million. Let's look what they're saying here. Oh my gosh. The 6th Century scraped together $29 million from 53 international markets. 53, and you only got $29 million.
That is bad.
Go woke, go broke, people.
Yeah.
Hollywood. There ain't nothing wrong with diversity.
Well, they deserve this.
But here's the thing. Listen, there's nothing wrong with diversity, right? I get it. There's nothing wrong with wanting representation. What's wrong is when you throw out this poor excuse for storytelling and this agenda-driven, propaganda-filled crap sandwich, and you want to feed it to us. But not only do you want to feed it, you want us to pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You want us to pay for that crap.
Yeah.
So what's worse is that you're losing a franchise that has shown it can make money because you want to peddle propaganda crap. If you want to have a new hero and make a Mexican or make a female Mexican hero, you could do that, but make the story in a way where it works into a Terminator lore.
I know, but the thing is, though, a couple of weeks ago, I read an article from somebody in the show media saying that their intention is to hijack existing franchises and put their agenda into it, and they admit this.
Money. Good, they're losing money because guess what? Check this out. Though the film is nearing 200 million mark, this crap made $200 million and it's trash. You know what $200 million is? That's a lot of money. And this is trash. This piece of trash of a movie actually made $200 million because the way the movie market works, you go and watch the movie. Even if it's trash, you can't get your money back. The companies get the money. Mm-hmm. And when you have a bunch of movie theaters all over the world, internationally, and your Paramount Pictures and Universal or whatever, Fox, Disney, you have audience. And what you're doing is you're putting this propaganda in there because people are going to watch the movie. And even then, you brought in $200 million. You were so greedy, right? Because what you need, it still stands to be a major money loser, right? For Paramount, Skydance, and Disney. The studio's backing the big budget tentpole. Box office experts say the film needs to earn around $450 million to break even. You need $400 million to break even. That's how much money you put into this movie, and it was just utter trash. And you couldn't even do anything good with it. Like make a story that would actually be coherent enough where people wouldn't mind. But this is Hollywood. It's a hustle. And it's
the thing is, Gilly, aside from Terminator 1 and 2, the rest don't exist to me. They don't exist.
They don't exist to me, brother. 1 and 2 is it. My brain blocked everything else out. It's not canon to me. I'm not buying any Blu-ray of this. I could care less. I'm doing these videos just to put my opinion out there so people can see that, hey, guess what? I'm not taking it. And I do my own stories. I write comics. Why? Because I need to put some good stuff out there because the system for Hollywood is just trash. They're going to make over $100 million in losses. I'm glad. I hope it hits your bottom dollar. I'm glad you're going to lose some money. Terminator Dark Fate is now open in 99% of international territories. Disney is releasing the film overseas aside from China, while Paramount is handling domestic distribution. Okay. So Disney's losing money in this too. Good. The movie debuted in Japan this weekend with $6 million, as well as Taiwan with $1.4 million. China, where Tencent is rolling out the movie, is leading the way with $45 million in receipts after 10 days in theaters. Other top territories include Korea with 14.9 million and the United Kingdom with 8.3 million. So that's horrible. Still, you got $45 million from China. Again, you know, there's the people watching movies. You're making money, but you're still not breaking even. So it cost you. I'm just glad it cost you.
Yeah. There's no way. I mean, honestly, if they announce a sequel or another Terminator movie, I'm just gonna lose.
They won't. They won't. There's no money there. Unless you do something really low budget, you know, and then, I mean, which you could do, but I think it's just like you got to let the bleeding stop for a bit. I think the way it could happen will be if you got to give it some time, a couple years, 4 or 5 years. Maybe by then I can jump on Terminator and save the franchise. I would love that.
I don't know, because the thing is, each movie, like, well, Terminator 3 was something else, but Salvation and Genesis were failed attempts at making another trilogy, and they both failed miserably. And this is another one. So after 3 failures, nobody cares. Nobody cares anymore.
You're losing the audience. Here's another article we have. Metacritic audience scores wildly different from the Rotten Tomatoes audience. The user score on Metacritic is 3.9 from 264 reviews. There are 79 positive reviews, 42 mixed, and 143 negative reviews. So this is good. So this is Bleeding Cool. No, Bounding Into Comics. So Bounding Into Comics put this out. And again, this is such a small scale, but it shows you that at least here there's a way, way negative reaction. I don't know if I think it was 1 to 10. So I guess user score 3.9. I don't know if it goes. I mean, I don't know if it's like 1 to 4. I don't think it's to 4 stars. I mean, I'm imagining it's on the 10-point scale. But the user score is 3.9. And again, we can see here 79 were positive, 42 were mixed, 143 were negative.
Yeah, that's
here we go. This is Dark. David Arkham gives the film a 0. I like the fact that you could give a movie a 0.
Metacritic,
my store on here. They write the storyline completely broken. Yes. Genesis is no longer the worst movie in the franchise. Yes. Double yes. Happy to see Linda Hamilton again. I was very happy to see her because I love her. She's one of my favorite characters in movie history. But I really don't like the story. I don't understand how it could be in a Terminator timeline. I also agree with you. It's just trash. My brain blocked it off. This Terrible gives it a 6.
That's way too high of a score.
I followed the Terminator movies until Genesis. This one is really destroying the legacy of it's done. It destroyed the legacy. If you consider it canon, I don't, so I'm happy. Everything is rebooted into an alternate reality. Like I would prefer T3 and T5 than Dark Fate. Honestly, the actions are adequate and storyline is mediocre. You're saying a lot of negative stuff and you're giving it a kind of high. I mean, 6 is not great, but it's still like average-ish. Mm-hmm. I would give it a 5, or if you're saying all this. It's hard to enjoy Dark Fate after what happened to the first 5 minutes, which really blow upsetting, bitter, and made the rest of the movie feel bland. Yeah, you just killed John Connor. I mean, come on. He's like still a kid. He's like, I guess he's like 14, 15. He looked the same as he did in Terminator 2. Mm-hmm. I mean, for all intents and purposes, it could be just like after they got away and this new Terminator comes out looking just like Arnold and just pops him in the chest. It's just like, it's a joke. It's just like it's just like, it's almost like a bad fan movie. Right, but we're actually sitting in the theaters watching it, and Hollywood actually came up with this.
This Ivan guy sounds like he's being way too forgiving because
a man who sat not far from me fell asleep and snored after 1 hour. Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, when I did watch the movie, I was going in and out.
You were nodding off, huh?
I was nodding off. Limestone Butter gives it a 5. Another soulless sequel to a beloved franchise, but it's not that bad.
Yes, it is. It's that bad. Shut up.
But that's the only thing going for the movie. Quite entertaining. What's entertaining to you, man? Just CGI laden stuff?
See, but that review.
This is what's entertaining. I like a muddled plot with several holes, mediocre CGI. He likes that. That's entertaining for him. Better than Genesis, but that's not saying much. Not worthy of a Terminator name. Definitely not worthy of a Terminator name, but you thought it was entertaining. I didn't think it was entertaining. I thought it was just garbage.
I don't like all of these, mm-hmm. all these, flimsy reviews. Like it wasn't that bad. Yes, it was that bad. Just admit it. It was bad.
They write. Here's Pragnavorn. I have an idea. Let's make a movie. Keep the plot the same as 4 out of 5, the past previous movies, and gender swap the main characters. What could go wrong? No spoilers here, as we all know the plot in the trailers. Robot comes from future to kill hero before they can save the world. Send good guy back to stop the bad robot. Think of something original. Terminator 1 was the best because it was original. Yes. Ter 2 was great because it flipped the script. Yes. T3, T5, and T6 are cash grabs. Yes, they are. T4 tried to do something a little new, but it was still too much trash. What is wrong with Hollywood today? They don't know how to write good characters. No, Hollywood just wants to get dollar bills, yo. That's all they care about. They don't give a crap. I guess there was some type of integrity back in the days when they made Terminator 1. Even then, maybe who knows what hoops and hurdles he had to do to get the movie greenlit and made. But there was some integrity there. Now everything is about just sucking that dollar bill out of that vegetable. You know, just suck the juice out of the vegetable. While it doesn't measure up to all the reviews, they're just horrible, man. I can't.
Wait, well, look at that 10. Who gave it a 10?
Let's see. Old School Boy gives the film a 10. If they gave more 8 to the Black Panther trash and Avengers Endgame, this would, without being better than the original Terminators, but much better and more entertaining than the crap that Disney has accustomed us. Dude, this is worse. Black Panther was way better than this.
I like Black Panther.
Are you kidding me? This is trash. This is just horrible. And then there's even some politics in there because, again, we have the Mexican undocumented immigrant that needs to cross over into America. So they hire a coyote to get them literally into, the U.S., and spoiler alert, they get picked up by Border Patrol and they're in the detainee detention center. And it's just, again, this is all political stuff being thrown in here, which, again, if you want to do that, find a way to make it creative. And you guys didn't. It's just horrible. Anyway, guys, I don't know. There's nothing more I can say. Let me look at some comments. I'm done with this. Let's see some comments. Andrew J says, but didn't you know wokeness is currency? Why do people hand in bread with that? I guess they're expecting all the woke people to just rush into droves to watch this, but the thing is, they're not even watching it because
woke people don't pay for this. They don't buy.
They complain. They get you to change your whole story, and then that's it. The people who are watching it are some sprinkled fans and people looking for entertaining stuff, and all the woke people just don't watch it. But they comment on Rotten Tomatoes. I bet those woke people that didn't watch the movie went on the audience score, user score, and said, hey, this was great. This was the best. Yeah, I guarantee you that.
I want to go see Zombieland 2 and enjoy the crap out of that instead. It was good.
That was very good. Andrew Day, Terminator Dark Fate at the box office title correct. That's a good one, right?
Yeah.
Dark Fate at the box. It was a dark fate. It's literally what it is.
Poison. Yeah.
It's definitely woke poison, dude. Show me any amount of female nudity and I'm there. I'm going to give you one thing. The main Terminator chick, she comes out, and the way they do it Terminator, they all come out butt naked. She was a very beautiful woman. So
really? She looks like a dude to me.
Yeah. I mean, no, she does look like a dude, and the haircut was killing me. But she does have a beautiful body. She definitely does.
Okay, because the photos I've seen don't make her look like she has a nice body.
In the movie, in the first 2 minutes, if you stick around, that was it.
Okay.
They got rid of it. EJ Bourne is a man of culture.
Yep, definitely.
This movie shits all over the whole franchise. Yes, it does.
That's what we've been saying this whole time, this whole video. Definitely, yeah.
And for me, it doesn't count as canon. My brain has protected me from the Terminator franchise. I enjoy part 1. I enjoy part 2. That's it for me. I'm going to definitely watch part 1 and part 2 again during my Christmas or Thanksgiving break. And I'll probably do a video stream on it. Just to talk about some good stuff regarding Terminator. Loved Augmented Chick though. Was hoping to get another peek around.
Oh, you poor dog.
Yeah, she's augmented, but again, it's so weak. I mean, in a one-on-one fight,
I heard that she was actually one of the more positive things about the movie. Is what do you say to that? Her character. I don't know.
She was horrible.
She was horrible. Okay.
The only good thing about her was, like in the beginning of the movie, you get to admire her body, but as far as a character, she's flat. She's flatter than a thin piece of paper. She has no substance. And the augmented thing, you're trying to make it seem like she's just going through so much struggle to protect this, Sarah Connor chick. Not even Sarah Connor chick. The new Juana Connor. We'll call her Juana Connor. She has to say the new. And again, and then what turns out so funny, Juana Connor, she's the one, right? Because she's the new John Connor. She's the one that turns into this badass out of nowhere. We don't know how she turned into a badass. We just don't know.
I saw that she.
We don't know how she turns into a badass. But again, the Maria Sue syndrome, right? Not Mary Sue. We got the Maria Sue syndrome, the Maria Sue, because she's Mexican, right? So we'll go a little Latin flavor there. All of a sudden, they just show a segment in the movie and she's just kicking everyone's ass. But again, we'll never know how. And it wasn't justified in the movie because in the movie, they're just running away. So we never see a training. We never see anything. We just don't see none of that. Like when we see Terminator, the original Terminator, we see Kyle Reese explaining the future. We see him kind of training her. They're making bombs and stuff. Like you could see like how he's training her to become Sarah Connor. And that effect, she fell in love and everything. And that made her who she was in Terminator 2 Judgment Day. We see none of that in the new movie. The augmented chick, she's just.
Do they have any scenes in the future in this movie or no?
Yeah, where we see the Maria Sue character, Juana Connor, just kick ass. Yeah, like she literally, we see the augmented chick like as a young version, and like she's about to get killed, right, by some humans who are just, I guess they're like just want to kill her. They try scavenging or whatever. And out of nowhere, that same Mexican chick just comes out and she has cornrows, real badass. Give her cornrows. She's just instant badass. And she looks just the same with cornrows. She don't even look aged. She don't look nothing. It was just hard to watch. And she's just like, like John Wicking, kicking people's ass. I'm just like, what? What? Like, really? You went that far? Like, it's just that bad. So I'm saying Mackenzie Davis, the augmented chick, they're trying to make it seem like she's a super soldier that has half machine in her. The machine she has in her is this magic nuclear type bomb thing in her that's a battery charger. That if you take out the battery charger and you put it close to the new Terminator, he'll blow up and explode, and it's just a fail-safe.
Wait, didn't they do that in Terminator 3?
Where's the originality? So guess what? When you had this, this thing that gets pulled out of her, this is used to blow up the new Terminator, the T-1000 dude, whatever, the C-800.
They did that in Terminator 3. That's the same thing.
It's stupid. So what I'm saying is why don't you just send her with like a rocket launcher that has this type of neural bomb thing that was implanted in her to just kill him in one shot if you can, or make it somewhat interesting so we know you could pose a formidable threat somewhere against this new Terminator. Because this new Terminator dude, this evil T-1000 dude, he comes in and he gets his ass kicked left and right, but then he hurts the augmented chick, and then it's just like, we know she's not going to stand up to him, but she kicks his ass every time they meet. But in the end of it, it's just like she can't match up to him. Which is, again, it's just, I'm losing my breath. Let's see here. Her speech was like bullshit. Oh, Juana Connor, you're not some man's mother who saves the future. You save the future, Juana. Yeah, that was the whole thing. It was just like they were saying like she's going to give birth to this. She's going to give birth, but like, no, you're more important than the womb. You are the one. Like she's like the one. It was Juana Connor was the one. It was just so bad. So she was a lackluster character. Everything about it was lackluster. Watch the movie for free from the public library, or $1 from Redbox, but I wouldn't suggest putting money into that. Watch it for free, just for a laugh, just to see what people would do to this franchise to pass it off as something worthy for your hard-earned dollar, and it's supposed to be entertainment. This is nothing of the sort. This is nothing of the sort. Andrew J. Bugs of Beauty. I'm a fan. That's just the only saving grace. It was in the beginning of the movie. And again, just the Terminator the evil Terminator wasn't menacing. Arnold's role in the film was just a waste. It's cash grab all over the place. And they couldn't do a good original story. There's so much fun you can do with Terminator. But for some reason, we stuck in this come back from the time, kill. And it's just like, I get you could do the comebacks from the time, but do it in a way where make it fresh, and you can. And I almost want to challenge myself to do like a Terminator-esque type of story that's almost like a gimmick of this kind of thing, but do it in a way that could be cool. But that's just too much. I got to make new IPs. That's what I got to do.
Well, I mean, you're a pretty big fan of the Terminator franchise. You could do your own take on that and still make it original. I think
If somehow, I can be able to write a Terminator comic and I could have full creative control over how I want to do that comic, I would do that. I can't do that.
Have you seen the Sarah Connor Chronicles?
I don't care for Sarah Connor Chronicles. I didn't.
Okay.
I don't know if it's good. It could be great. I heard people say it's good stuff, but my brain is so on Linda Hamilton as a badass Sarah Connor. I can't see another. And that chick was the one from Game of Thrones too, who plays Cersei, who is like Sarah Connor, I think. Again,
that show have been on Terminator related stuff. That's pretty interesting.
Again, my thing is the universe is so big with Terminator. There's so many ways you can make it cool. Like there's ways you can do so much. But again, we're just falling into the same hole. Anyway, guys, I chirped on long enough about how trash this movie is, how Rotten Tomatoes, there's something fishy going on with the audience scores. This movie ain't making money in the amount that it should be making for what it spent, over $400 million, $50 million. It's just tragic piece of box office garbage. I wouldn't watch it again.
The thing is, I mean, the stuff coming out of Hollywood that I'm interested in is getting less and less. It's less frequently am I interested in anything coming out of Hollywood.
I'm just telling you guys, streaming seems to have some type of power now. There's original content that looks to be good. Netflix originals, Hulu's going to have some originals.
Hashtag Animation Gate. I'm just going to put it out there again.
Yeah, hashtag Animation Gate. That's just more stuff that we're seeing with Terminator Dark Fate. These type of old franchises, cartoon franchises are being woked.
If you want to watch really good animated shows on Netflix right now, watch Cannon Busters and Seis Manos. Really solid stuff. I really recommend those two shows. Those are really good stuff.
So you got two recommendations from Ron, Seis Manos, and let me just pull up Google real quick. See if I could just plug it in. Just real quick, just so you can maybe you guys you hear it, but then you're like, what is it? So
the thing is, though, Seis Manos is a really good example of strong female characters that are not insufferable feminists, that are really strong, really, badass and awesome, but likable, So I'm just gonna put that out there too, because.
So here we go. Got 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. It got 7.5 on IMDb. But here's a picture.
It's solid. It's really good. I was really impressed with it. It's like essentially it's Buffy the Vampire Slayer meets 70s grindhouse and kung fu movies from the 70s too. That's what it is.
It sounds cool. I might watch it. I might see if it's really good. What was the other one you said?
Cannon Busters. That's the one that was crowdfunded by a couple of years ago. I think on Kickstarter. Yeah.
Yeah, Sean something. I can't remember his name. Cannon Busters. Yeah, LaShawn Thomas. There you go.
Yeah, LaShawn Thomas. Yeah, I remember seeing that it was crowdfunded a couple of years ago. I was seeing videos on it and then seeing the campaign and stuff. And
all right, so Cannon Busters. Here's another one that's on Netflix if you're into anime. And it was crowdfunded, so it's kind of like maybe it's like an Americanized anime, like anime, but created by it's an American storytelling team. And I think maybe art by LaShawn Thomas, maybe.
Yeah, he drew all the designs and stuff. Yeah.
Did he he did the animation himself?
Well, I mean, he was an animator. He had a team. Obviously, he had to hire a team to animate the whole show and stuff. So yeah,
All right, so there's some recommendations from Ron. If you guys are into anime and you're looking for something fresh on Netflix. Anyway, guys, I definitely what's a can of Busters? So EJ, you just saw it, right? I mean, that's what's on. I'm gonna do more streams with Ron, just because I don't know. We talk a lot about movies and we don't always agree on things, and sometimes that makes for a good show.
Yeah,
it just does. I mean, He loved what was it? What did you love? He loves the new Star Wars film.
No, I don't. Come on, don't put words in my mouth.
I heard he loves it. I think he had hope for it that it's gonna do good, and he really wants to give into that hope. And I'm like, nah, bro. For this one, I don't have hope. It's really gonna be trash. But that's where we kind of disagreed on.
I do not love it though. Come on.
I'm teasing you. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you stopping by. Andrew, Jay, EJ Morg, Sketch Therapy in the beginning. Thank you for the comments. And guys, please, if you're gonna watch Terminator Dark Fate, watch it for free. That's it. Get it from the public library and don't put any more money into this movie. Just don't. And if you want to prank someone really hard, a buddy, buy it for him for his birthday, wrap it up, and he's gonna think it's a cool Blu-ray, and it'd be that. That'd just be just to see someone's face when they open that movie, it would be crazy. Oh man. Anyway, guys, we're gonna have another stream tomorrow. Maybe Ron will come by. We'll see what we talk about. We also have something else in the works. If you haven't backed Galactic Rodents of Mayhem, check it out. If you haven't backed The Deep Dark, check it out. I got the links in the description. I critique movies, video games, and I write comic books because we need to fight. We need to fight Hollywood. And I'm all for diversity and representation, but the wokery is just, no, man. We got to do better for our stories, not at the expense of great storytelling. Anyway, guys, till next time, appreciate you all. Have a happy Veterans Day. Thank you to all the veterans who made this country what it is. Appreciate the service. Thank you so much for the freedom and where we can talk movies on a YouTube channel and have fun about it and critique stuff. Guys, thank you again for everything. Till next time, peace.
Later.